fashion changed a lot over the years, from big gowns and fancy hats to short skirts and tights. One thing's for certain, women love their fashion.
People want to look good, and they want to look at people looking good.
High-bust, padded chest, and high-waisted skirts characterize one of the most prominent eras in fashion, La Belle Epoque, and samples of clothing from that era are on display here at the Nanaimo Museum.
Belle Epoque is French for the beautiful age, and it was because of the great fashions that we're seeing. The fabrics were very exotic, a lot of silks, elaborate laces, if you can see here. Fabric and styles were changing considerably.
Covering the years from 1890 to 1914, La Belle Epoque was a time of change in technology, economy, and culture.
It was a time of extreme affluence, particularly in the United States with the construction of railways. But it was also a time of, like today, financial collapse. Banks were failing, railways were failing, so we can somewhat echo today's situation in the world.
And all of these changes were reflected in the fashion industry. Fashion centers like New York, London, and Paris saw huge demand in clothing.
As you come in the 1890s and look at the fashions then, you can see the bustle coming out the back, the big balloon sleeves. And it's a time, left over from the 1880s where there's a lot of wealth, a lot of new money being made. People dressed well, they wanted to look great, they wanted to reflect that wealth they had. But as we can see, starting in the mid-1890s with the recession, which led to a major depression, we can see things get a bit more conservative, but we can see introduction of technology as well. With sewing machines, people starting to sew at home.
In a time of luxury, this period represented an era where fashionable clothing was accessible to everyone.
Mechanization was a large part of it. Cottons could be produced cheaper. They could be transported cheaper. Sailing ships were replaced by steamships. There was more factories opening that could produce clothing. But the other important thing is people had a bit more money. We had the growth of a middle class, and people suddenly had a disposable income they could spend on the nicer things in life.
The exhibit is on at the Nanaimo Museum downtown till the end of the year. In Nanaimo, for Shaw TV, I'm Dunya Tozy.